They're not in their graves.
Let's do it.
Hey, what's up, ghouls and gals? It's me, Ryan T here, and welcome to another edition of the Ryan T Show podcast with the almighty.
Yo, Sid Retro in the building, man. What's going on? Retro Culture 727, Ryan T Show podcast, man. We back. We on another anime. I told you we were gonna get some anime in here, guys. So we keep keeping it horror. You know, we're keeping it horror. So we got like a horror anime and we got a horror indie horror double back to back. So we keeping it horror.
Or the first anime. Today we're gonna be talking about Ninja Scrolls and Ninja Scroll and Jacob's wife. But first we're gonna be talking about Ninja Scroll. All right, ghouls and gals. As most of y'all know, or maybe y'all don't know, Ninja Scroll stars Jubei, if you're nasty.
Yeah, Jubei.
And he is a disgraced ninja who basically his clan gets high orders from the big main fucking chief, and they're kind of like, yo, kill this motherfucker. And he's like, hey, yo, dog, I thought I was y'all's homie. Y'all gonna fucking do me like that? And they're like, the fucking main motherfucker told us we had to kill you, so his word is law, and we got fucking bond with him, so we're gonna fucking do that shit. And so they decide to try and kill him, but they can't kill my man because my man is too fucking good.
He is, man. Jubei is a really cool, interesting character, man. You know, super cool, badass, man. This guy, he got the sword, man.
Yeah, like when you were telling me about it, I was kind of like, what the fuck is Ninja Scroll? Like, I've never heard of Ninja Scroll, which makes me like a bad anime fan, a bad manga fan, because this apparently I've been living under a literal fucking rock. I've been Tesai in this fucking anime, except I'm not a raper. We'll get into that later. But I've been living under a fucking rock, and I didn't know about this fucking anime, and it was really awesome. I really dug it a lot. Really fun, and Jubei is so fucking cool. He kind of reminds me of a less foul-mouthed version of like Sengoku, like that kind of like cool anime badass. You know what I mean? Like all the 90s anime characters, all the dudes back then, they were all real like fucking G's. You know what I mean? They're real fucking
real cool, macho, alpha male shit. You know, a lot of stuff, man. And I was just reading into it, and I guess they consider it like the golden age of anime, like the 80s and 90s, like the late 80s or 90s, like the golden age. So, you know, that's before your time. So don't feel too bad. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like there was, you know, there's like an anime channel that's been on for 20 years or nothing like that.
Yeah. We just had.
Where would you see this? Where would you see this at? Like, where would you like?
That's true. Believe it or not, the only time that I was really exposed to anime outside of like Toonami and stuff like that would have been like Suncoast Video. You remember like the Suncoast videos in the mall and shit like that? Exactly. I would go there like. For you kids that are watching this that are below the age of like 21, there used to be these things called malls, and they had stores in them that you could walk into them, and you could buy these things called DVDs and box sets.
Man, DVDs.
Jesus Christ. DVDs feel like they're almost as old as VHS. Remember when like DVDs started to replace VHS like in the commercials? Like they weren't even saying VHS anymore. They were just like on DVD. Fuck that stupid cassette shit. We don't have to fuck with that anymore.
This is clarity. This is the future. We don't, you know, this is $30 a movie.
Dude, yeah. But
they started clearing to now.
Expensive back then anyway. Like when VHS first came out, I think my dad was telling me, he was like, oh, they were like fucking $90 a goddamn movie. Yeah,
man, those movies were not cheap at all, man.
No.
I remember like $30-$40, you know, it's just like a Blu-ray release now. And if you get a Blu-ray 4K, it's going to be $30.
Yeah,
$40.
yeah.
This is what it is.
You have to really want to watch that movie at home. Yeah, you have to really like be like, you know what? I'm going to fucking buy this movie and I'm going to watch it once and it's going to sit on that fucking shelf after that.
Yeah. That's why, you know, a lot of people don't buy movies brand new that they never seen. It's just a waste of money.
Yeah,
right?
dude.
No, don't do it. Unless it's Dollar Tree or something.
Yeah, unless you're scrummaging through the bargain bin and you're like find a Ninja Scroll and you're like, oh, what is this?
Holy
and you get to watch it. Okay, one thing I want to talk about Ninja Scroll before we go any further. This movie Ghouls and Gals is horny as hell. This is a horny as hell anime. This is probably like one of the like I was telling Sid when I first watched it. I was like, oh my goodness, oh! I felt like a conservative Republican woman. I was like, oh! I was like covering myself up. I was like, oh dear, what are they doing? I was like, is he touching her? Oh, is he licking her? Oh God! But it was fine after. It was fine after all.
You know, this movie has like the perfect amount of like fucking awesome like villains, bad guys.
Yeah.
Every fucking battle, every fight is like super dope. I forgot where I was going with this. You know, every fight scene is super dope, man. The characters that he fights, like, you know, it has a perfect action blend of like action, and rape.
Rape. Sid and I were joking earlier that I was like, well, because Sid was like, oh, well, I watched like the UK version and it didn't have that. And I was like, bro, I watched the extended rape Snyder cut. I was like, this was the fucking Snyder cut rape edition, dude. I was like, there was like that one scene which was, he wasn't even a bad guy at the time. It was like their general guy. And he was like straight up like banging this one chick. And like that chick, the poison chick, Kagegaru, was there. She was like, oh, yes, I got the information for you. And he's like, hold on. And she was just like, okay. And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. I was like, we just saw a rape and now we're seeing another rape. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's a little outrageous, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I used to have like Ninja Scroll playing in the background, like at my parties and shit. And like out of nowhere, people would be like, what the fuck is that?
They're like, is that Rock? Is the Thing raping that woman?
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Raping that woman?
And I'm playing it on like VHS and shit, so there's no like remote or whatever. So I gotta like get up and like fast forward, like hit the fast forward button. So it's just like raping fast forward. It's crazy. But the fight.
He's just raping her faster. He's like, for
real, man. But since this was your first time watching Ninja Scroll, what was your favorite fight scene or your favorite villain that was in the movie? Yeah, that you liked?
Asian Candyman, for sure. Asian Candyman.
Oh yeah.
Asian Candyman was the shit, dude. He looked like an ugly fucking toe. He looked like a big toe with like fucking bees coming out of it. And it was cool, like, whenever he was, like, because his power, to be honest with you, like, the power to, like, control and create bees would be an amazing fucking power. Like, you could murder the fuck out of a lot of people, dude.
Yeah.
And so, like, I thought that was really cool. And he was a cool villain, but that wasn't my favorite fight scene. My favorite fight scene had to have been, I think this is probably everybody's favorite fight scene, was the fight scene in the bamboo forest when they're like kind of running and like going back and forth like that. That is really fucking cool. And it kind of really does a throwback to like those old Shogun samurai movies where he's like, I'm a blind master. He goes, your sight is your weakness, not mine. And they're like fighting. That was fucking awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah, cutting the bamboo slow motion.
Yeah. And we really got to see Homegirl, Kagegaru, who we haven't talked about a lot yet, really shine in this scene. And for y'all that haven't seen Ninja Scroll, Kagegaru is this character who is a poison maiden. Or a poison tester, right? She's a tester for she basically gets injected with all the fucking poison, so that way they're like, this is what it tastes like, bitch, and this is what it feels like, bitch. Whenever the fucking general gets fucking poisoned, you know what's up, all right? She's like, okay.
Yeah, she's dope, man. She got the poisonous flowers.
Yeah, and I like that her whole thing is like, if you have sex with me, you die forever.
That's it.
You rape me, I kill you.
Yeah, that was a pretty dope. Of course, he smashes.
Yeah. I even told Sid that too. I was like, of course, fucking Juby, the badass of all badasses, has to fuck the poison vagina lady, who's the hottest lady in the whole land. And I was like, because it will save his life. I was like, of course. I was like, he's like, you gotta hit it and quit it and never admit it, dog. I was like, that's the only way you save yourself, Juby. You gotta get some of that sloppy toppy.
Yeah, poison toppy.
That poison ivy toppy.
Yeah, oh no, the snake chick was hot too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the snake came out of her vagina. That happened too.
But yo, that was like one of the. I love that the scene. You know what I'm saying, where she got that snake like tattooed on her back or whatever, and it just starts fucking moving on her back like that.
Right, she like possessed or like turned someone that had that tattoo into like a husk, right? And she was like, I thought that was dope as fuck. They were like, oh, she already disappeared. Like, she used another skin to like disappear, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, that's cool as hell. But yeah, skinwalkers up in this bitch. They got Asian Candyman. They got the rapey version of the Thing in this shit.
Yeah, on
they got a whole bunch of cool people up in here. They got one guy that wants to bang the other guy. Right, he was talking about. He got mad, right? He got real mad, dude. I'm gonna show a picture of homeboy right now. That guy right there, he was all like fucking around with his string and stuff. His little cool little like line from Cyber City style throwback.
Right.
And he was all like, "Oh, you fucking fucked him? Oh, you bitch! I'm gonna kill you." He's like, "I wanted to fuck him," and she's like, "He don't like dick, and he likes girls." And then he was like, "Fuck."
And then and then he killed her, right? He killed that girl.
Got a fight, right? He was like, "You fucking bitch!" He like killed her out. Cause first she tried to come on to him, right? She was like, "Oh, you want some of this?" And he was like, "Oh." He's like, "When have I ever indicated I wanted some of your sucking ass?"
He was like, "Get the fuck away from me."
Yeah, he's
bitch.
like, "But your boyfriend though." He's like, "But your boyfriend though," and she was like, "Oh, he don't want you."
Yeah, and then she was like, "Oh, it is true. Oh, okay, you do like me. Oh, okay."
Yeah, he's like, "I've been telling you." He's like, "I've been telling you that. Why do you think I didn't let you hit it? I've been pushing you away for like a year." He's like, "This is like the 80th time you tried this shit with me."
Yeah, this was definitely dope. What do you think was like the most memorable, like the most thing that you're gonna remember from this? Is it gonna be like the cringy rape scenes?
It's gonna be the rape scenes for sure. Then I'm also gonna remember this one thing that I'm gonna put up right now was that fucking heavy metal headbutting scene where he's like, he like butts the fuck out of him, and like the way they draw it is so fucking cool. Like his eyes like hanging out, and he's like that. He's like like that.
Yeah, that shit is dope, man. I fucking love this movie.
What's your favorite part in this, and like what kind of scenes do you like and stuff like that? You better not say the rape scenes either, Sid.
Nah.
Turn this video off.
Hell no. Consent is
hell no. That's what. Hell no.
Hell no, man. Consent is sexy. You know what I'm saying? Consent is sexy. All right.
This has been a PSA from the Ryan T Show.
Exactly. That's the hottest thing ever, right there. Is consent. Woo! That shit get me going.
Don't be Tesai. Yeah, don't be him.
I'm gonna remember Jubei.
He's
you know what I'm saying? I really wish that we'd have more, you know, say from Ninja Scroll. I think there's like Ninja Scroll Part 2.
Yeah, there's a series.
You know what I'm saying? There's some other stuff. So I really, when I first seen this though, I was like, yo, Jubei is one of the baddest motherfuckers on screen that I ever seen. I was like, this is so dope, man. You know, he's just killing the animation style, the design, you know what I mean? I'm usually into more of the sci-fi cyberpunk type shit. Yeah. I don't mind this at all. Like this is right up my alley, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, this was fun. This kind of reminded me of, and I know this is what they were going for. This was like an old Ronin, like Shogun type of like movie where it's just like this cool fucking lone samurai who's just walking from town to town, happens to like stumble upon this chick. And he's like, okay, I saved her. That was that. I'm gonna fucking keep walking. And I like how like people don't just want to leave Juby alone. He's just like, leave me the fuck alone, man. He's like, I'm just trying to live my fucking life. They're like, no, we need you to fight. We'll give you money. He's like, God damn it, you had to say the fucking M word. You had to say money. Okay, fuck, I'll do it. He's like, fuck, all right then. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, man, that's super dope. What would you rate it?
I'm gonna rate Ninja Scroll the extended Zack Snyder rape cut. I'm gonna rate it. Actually, dude, I'm gonna rate Ninja Scroll an 8 out of 10. I like Cyber City a little bit better, but Ninja Scroll was gangster as hell, dude. I like Jubei. Jubei's cool. Kagegaru was cool. All of the villains, all of the Demon Clan were fucking awesome. They were really cool. I'm gonna put a picture of them up right now. They were all cool. They were all kind of like sexy and provocative, like in their own way. They all kind of wanted to fuck and kill each other at the same time, which I thought was really fucking cool. And they all, which literally they did. They were like, "Oh, you want to fuck me? Okay, I'm gonna kill you then. Fuck you then." Which I thought was fucking cool. Which I thought was fucking cool as hell. And I like that this anime. It is very much like not is a product. It is not and is not a product of its time. This anime is timeless and both stuck in a time period, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, it has like its anime cliches, like the main male hero is like the sexiest thing to walk the planet Earth, and of course he has to bang the other sexiest thing that walks the planet Earth because reasons. You know what I mean? And
damsel in distress cliche.
Yeah, it has a lot of cliche stuff, but the reason that it's good is because it did it first and it did it the best, and no one else has really been able to do it better than that. So that kind of makes where this movie stands the test of time, as it be, and I can see why it's like an anime like staple because it is really good.
Yeah, you know, and if the animation wasn't up, you know what I'm saying? If it didn't look as good as it does, it wouldn't be that great of a movie. You'd be like, but this fucking scenes, the art and the design in here is beautiful, man. It's really, really beautiful. Love this shit.
Yeah,
I give it out of the 10. Would you said an 8? Yeah, I give it an 8. I'll give it around an 8, man.
I think Cyber City is a little bit better.
Yeah, but you know what, they did a lot more with no gadgets, no cars, no future, you know what I'm saying? Like,
swords and powers.
Yeah, like you said, they took it back to like some cowboy Ronin type shit.
Yeah. Speaking of powers, everybody had cool powers in this, except for Jubei. Well, he kind of did have powers, right? They kind of did allude to that he had a power, right? Because remember that old man was like, "Oh, you have a strange technique, right?" He was just like, "Shut the fuck up, don't talk about it." Right? He kind of was like that, right? He was like, "Shut the fuck up, what are you talking about?"
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really say he had a power, but you know, he got that sword, so
he cut that. He was like, and he cut that stone in half. But I don't know if he was. I don't know if that was because he raped that chick and then because he was dying because of that. I don't know. I think that was right. They do it.
I think he weakened
his rock a little bit.
Yeah, he I forgot what he did to do it, but he wasn't invincible.
I think the chick poisoned him and it weakened him a little bit.
Yeah, and he wasn't invincible anymore. And then they could fuck him up.
But they all had dope ass powers. They were all cool. The main bad guy, whose name is Genma Himaru, was annoying as fuck, but he's a good villain in that sense because that's a good villain when you're like, I fucking hate you. I want you to die so badly.
Yeah, can't wait for him to die.
Where he kept killing him, the end scene, I was like, fucking die, man. I was like, just fucking die already.
He like picked his arm up off the floor, put it back on. Let's get it. Like, oh shit.
Dude, for a second they were beating the fuck out of Jubei. They had that one scene, like, or literally like half a minute, where they were just like, he's like, like he's just like there, like on a pillar, getting like the shit knocked out of him, and he's like throwing up blood. He's like, blah, blah.
Yeah, classic shit, man.
But
I agree, man. 8 out of 10, man. A classic.
It's a really.
You haven't seen it, you gotta see it. If you're an anime fan, this is one of the movies that you gotta see it if you're an anime fan. You know? Definitely.
And moving on to another movie that I think everybody should see at least once. We're gonna talk about Jakob's Wife.
Oh shit.
All right, ghouls and gals. Jakob's Wife stars Barbara Crampton, and it also stars Larry Fessenden, and it also stars Bonnie Aarons, whom you may know as the Nun. Did you know that the chick that plays the vampire in this, she is the Nun. She's the actress that plays the Nun.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Shit. Yeah, she looks scary as fuck.
Yeah, I didn't notice at first because they were playing real fast and loose with the character, like, right? Remember, like, they wouldn't really show the vampire and stuff. Right. Before we get into it, the Jakob's Wife is about a woman that gets turned into a vampire. She is a I would say she's like in her like mid to late 50s, right? She's like a woman in her 50s.
Yeah,
like
the married housewife,
middle-aged woman. Yeah, married middle-aged. Or
married to a pastor, right? He's a pastor.
Yeah, he's yeah, because right, what does he say at one point? He's like, I'm a pastor. He's like, you're thinking of a priest, because they're like, why don't you go rape a kid? And he's like, that's a priest. He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm a pastor, not a priest. He's like, I only do that to women, not to little kids. Well, I guess which is what he was trying to indicate.
And then he stole their weed.
Yeah, and then they smoked it, which is awesome. It stars this woman named Anne, who's played by Barbara Crampton, and she plays like kind of this character who is kind of like an every woman, every man kind of character, right? Like she's kind of like going through like the motions of being kind of like alive, living, and it's boring,
like and tired of the same mundane,
the same bullshit,
schedule, the same everything. You know, she had dreams when she was younger, and she kind of just gave them up because her mom died, and her boyfriend moved, and her mom died.
Yeah, the one guy that she liked a lot. Yeah.
So she just buried herself in the church and shit. So now she kind of so she tries to step outside the marriage. Oh snap! The old flames in town. Then they go hang out at this little dusty ass warehouse and shit, right?
And Jesus smites them. He's like, "Oh, adultery, vampire, bite her." She's like, "I'm sorry that I craved another penis." Ah!
Yeah.
And then she gets bit. Yeah.
Yeah, she gets bit.
I love the way they framed this vampire. It's so old timey and so macabre and so like Dracula. I'm gonna put the little Dracula music. It's so like Dracula, and I like how they do that thing with the cloak, which is like, right when she like fucking like opens up on her. I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, man. I love this movie. You know, it just reminds me of like those little 80s teen movies that I sent you. Saying I was a teenage vampire. Once Bitten. You know,
we should watch that one of these days.
I mean, both of those movies are the same.
Great.
Movies, if you know what I'm saying. But it's good to see like the same formula, but flipped it for a older female, and to try to blend in, still be normal in society, still go to the dentist, right? Still to go shopping and everything like that. So it's really cool to see like a normal person try to deal with vampirism and keep a secret and all of that stuff, man.
Especially one that's like a devout like Christian or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and I like that this film, in the beginning of the film, they kind of like they did a lot of symbolism, like in the beginning of the film, like when I was telling you, when I was like spouting out like whys, like if I know anything about movies. I was like, the movie's about age in the beginning of the movie, right, they show her and she's kind of like looking in the mirror and she's like fuck, I'm getting old and shit. And I like that a lot, and that I also like that they kept showing the rats. And that they kept showing that she was kind of like a rat, like small. She was kind of like insignificant, or at least she felt like that. She felt that way, and I thought that was really cool and all that stuff. And then she kind of gets turned into a vampire, and she just gets like revitalized, like Jennifer's body type of thing for like a middle-aged woman.
Exactly. Yeah. You get to see her transform and embrace it, and step out of the house, out of the subservient role.
They put her like some goth makeup on, and then they kind of like push up the little old lady boobs and shit. And you're like, okay, girl.
They're dancing around the living room with fucking lamps.
with a lamp.
Hey, goth rock and shit. She was getting in.
She's a cool little actress, man. I like her. I like that Barbara Crampton, man. She's cool as fuck, dude.
She even popped out a titty for us. Wow. I was like, okay, all right.
Speaking of that, and speaking of overtly sexual scenes, Ninja Scroll, they had the one scene where the vampire made her finger herself.
Oh yeah, I was out of nowhere. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I was like, whoa. And then you learn that, I guess the vampire is like genderless. Like they never say that it's a man or a woman. They just call it.
I feel like it was a female.
It looked like a female.
Like it was a female.
Yeah, but they never straight out. Well, yeah, they kind of do at the end, right? They're like, oh, my master kissed me and gave, But this movie is very much a female movie. It's very much about like kind of like like this woman reclaiming like her life and kind of taking it back. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it was dope, man. I like that whole concept.
It was very fun, very cute, very light, very quick movie.
In the normal, like, I feel like regularly they wouldn't have did the whole like, hey, you're a vampire and you're a pastor or whatever, but we're still gonna try to work it out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they were having like marriage counseling, like through like moments like in here, like, okay, what are we gonna do now? Like, all right,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was interesting because usually it's just like, all right, okay, you're a vampire now. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, where's she gonna go then?
Yeah.
I was like, she got to go somewhere then, or you know.
The one thing I liked a lot, whenever she did become a vampire, is like how much like the animosity for her husband like grew, like how much fucking hate, like, and resentment like she had for him. Like they would do that close-up shot where he was like eating, and she would like look at his throat, like the food go down, and she'd be like, "I fucking hate you. I want you to die." Like the way that she would look at him.
And then they'll cut to like him snoring in bed, and she's like just wide awake.
And then she like punch him in the face at one point. She was like,
yeah, exactly, man. It was dope as fuck though, because you know they made the husband characters really bland. Like you don't really know who you really don't know who he is. He probably doesn't know who he is. You know what I mean? Because even she was like, cut the shit, you know?
Yeah, she's like,
I traded on my life for this. She's like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like,
yeah, she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? She's like, you're a bitch, dog. Like, she basically tells her that at one point, right? She's like, you a bitch. You're a bitch maid. And he's like, oh, I'm going to leave when I have my shred up dignity. She's like, a bitch would say that. She's like, a bitch would say that. And you're like, fuck.
Then the whole movie, he's like, I'm not a bitch. I'm going to go try to kill myself, all right? I'm going to try to kill the main vampire by myself.
Yeah.
Gotta do it together. You got to do it together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there was a lot of this movie, like, you know what I mean? Like, this movie, for as wild as the premise as it is and how outlandish it is, it's very much like a movie just like about a woman that's like, you know, like bored of being bored. You know what I mean? And then she's kind of just like, why the fuck does my life have to be like this? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
It's like when she was alive, she was dead, and now that she's dead, she's alive. You know?
They do that with the corpse bride thing, right? They're like, oh look, it's all better when you die. When which kids, it isn't. You just die. You just die.
yeah. Don't do that shit. You don't have to.
Don't become a vampire and don't become a corpse bride. That's another PSA from the Ryan T show.
For real. What did you think about the way that the other vampires like the little cronies, like how they all like
they had like I liked what I did like a lot, what I was telling you when we were messaging and stuff. I liked that the master or whatever was very much like a throwback to like Dracula and stuff like that, Nosferatu, and it was very much an old style vampire. And once she like bit you, you were like hers. Like, she can make you do whatever the fuck you wanted. And I like that she can make anybody basically like her fucking minion and stuff like that. Like, and I like the whole thing with like when she would make people grab like the knife and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you." I always thought that was cool.
It's super dope, and it also like goes into back to like the zombie, like the Hades zombie movies, where like mind control and Walking Dead zombies and like the same type of shit. To where, because at first I was like, are they zombies or are they fucking vampires? I was like, okay, all right, they're vampires. Okay, this is crazy,
dude. And what did you think about whenever they would bite them and their neck would like fucking explode? They'd be like.
Yo, they had like anime blood gushing.
Yeah,
it was like
barely like peck on them and it'd be like.
Yeah, there was a lot of those. I really appreciated them. Yeah, I really appreciated.
And then they cut that one dude's throat on anime style too, right? With just like the she was like, oh.
Yeah, I thought that the dude was gonna cut her husband's throat. I thought he was just gonna be like, yo.
Yeah, I thought he was just gonna be dead there. I thought he was gonna be dead there and he like bleeding or some shit.
Me too. I was like, did he cut? I was like, did he cut her throat? Okay, he just like nicked it or whatever, so
she can be like, oh, and she's like, want your dick, and then they start having sex, and then she's like,
horny vampire segment, and then out comes the titty. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice titty.
Yeah, she's a nice lady. She's a nice lady.
The titty got a 10 out of 10.
Yeah. She's really good in this movie, man. Like, this movie all falls on her. Like, this movie is literally, she carries this entire movie, and she does an amazing job at carrying this movie. She is funny, she's cute, she's like scary at moments when she needs to be scary, and you kind of really feel bad for her, and you really feel like, man, this poor lady, like, just take her on a vacation, dog. God damn, she's tired of eating at home. Take her somewhere.
Yo, have you ever seen Salem's Lot?
Yeah, it just had Salem's Lot vibes. And it was like Salem's Lot and Jennifer's body like sucked and had a baby, and this would be the baby.
It's giving me because of Salem's Lot, Nosferatu, the vampires with the front teeth,
the buck teeth,
those fangs and the capes, and like at the end scene, he ran up on one of the scenes when the vampire ran up on behind dude. He just came out with the cape, like he came. You see him like float down from the building.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, he's like right behind him, and then it's just fucking blood like all over. That was
cool.
The place.
And it looked so old school, dude. It looked so old school. Like when you're talking about when she was coming down from the house, right? And she was just like,
right. Yep.
Real slow, right? Like that was cool.
Yeah, and the fucking like the cape was up like the whole time.
Yeah.
Like this. When the fucking blood was going crazy, man, and I really love.
Did you notice that CM Punk came out in this?
No.
That wrestler CM Punk. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't.
The other sheriff, the one that had like the slick back hair, he was that sheriff.
Oh shit! Damn, I didn't even recognize him. I wasn't really looking for him though, but yeah, okay.
I didn't know he came out in this movie. Like when I was watching it, and then whenever they're like, Pastor, can we look in your car and see what you have? And then I saw the other guy and I was like, is that fucking CM Punk? I was like, what the fuck is he doing in this movie?
Yeah, when they pulled him over with his vampire.
Yeah, and he's just like, oh, and he had like a Dracula comic book, and he was like, yeah, I've been reading this.
I thought he was gonna have like a Bible,
like a Twilight book. Yeah, like a Twilight book, and like a stick of garlic.
How to Kill Vampires for Dummies.
Yeah, he's just like, DVD of Blade Trinity, not even the good one. He was like watching Blade.
Yeah, that was, and then they were like, oh, okay, we believe you. Let's go see what you're talking about or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, the black sheriff was cool.
He was real like, hey man, I don't know about this vampire thing. He's like, it sounds stupid, right? That was like his whole thing. He was like, sounds stupid to me.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, and he was like, well, the girl went missing. He's like, yeah, but come on. He's like, the vampire's like in front of him, like biting somebody's neck, and he's like,
man, yeah.
He's like, fake.
The scene at the door at the house where the cop is talking to him and he's stalling and the vampire's fucking rolling around in the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? That was a really, really good scene. I really enjoyed that.
That was
scene.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? That scene's been done before, but not about like vampires and shit. You know what I'm saying?
They did it like in a fun, like kind of cute way. That you know what I mean? Like kind of like a misdirection kind of way. It kind of reminded me of like a little bit of like kind of like a WandaVision, Santa Clarita Diet type like scene, something you would see in one of those shows. Did you ever watch that show, the Santa Clarita Diet? It kind of reminds me of like.
But it was good though.
Yeah, it was good, but Netflix was like, it's good, and we're going to cancel it, and we're going to put a reality show on.
Yeah. Well, at least those went away, for the most part.
Yeah. Jacob's Wife is really good. I love that they named it Jacob's Wife, because at the end, they do the thing where they drop the title of the movie, and I normally fucking hate that. I normally really fucking hate that. But it really was cool when she was like, or do you just want to be Jacob's wife your whole life? And I was like, oh, that's good. I was like, that was good.
And then Jacob was like, hey guys, you talking about me?
Yeah, he's like, oh bitch. He's like, she is my wife. Chill the fuck out.
And then
she was like, maybe some goddamn pie.
He was like, why'd you do that? Why'd you kill my man? Well, all right, I guess.
Yeah. And he's like, now get in there, maybe some damn pie. And she's like, okay, Jacob. And she went inside.
Yeah, but I wonder, I like have questions like, how old was that vampire? You know what I'm saying? Like,
it sounded like they're from the 1900s because like old as fuck. Because she was like, like she was talking like she was living in the castle and shit like that. Like that's the way that she was sounding like.
Yeah,
she had hella powers though. Like she had a lot of powers, like all the powers.
She had some super dope powers, man. Yo, the fog the fog and the dirt and
big
shit.
fog come out of nowhere.
That shit was dope as fuck, man. I really love that too, because I was like, what? I was like, oh, I'm like, what the fuck fog is gonna do? But it is spooky as shit, and it's
she's like, it's for ominous. She's like, it's for ambience. She's like, I just wanted to make it look cool. She's like, chill the fuck out. It's fog.
And then it starts the dirt starts getting muddy, and then
they started doing the thriller. They started doing the thriller in the background.
Yeah, they grab him out the fucking.
That was cool though. They grabbed him and they were like, "Oh, can't move, Sarge. It was the ground."
When he was fucking shooting him in the fucking ground, bro. That shit was
caps.
Yeah, he was like, "Fuck, what? This just grabbed me."
He's like, "Fuck the earth." He's like, "Fuck the earth." He started shooting at the fucking earth and stuff, but Mother Nature wasn't having it.
Nah, man. She wasn't having it, man. And this will probably never get a part 2.
No. They're never gonna make a part 2. No. It would have had to have been like a massive success, in which I don't think this movie was. I think this movie will go on to live on to become a like cult classic, and it'll be kind of like, well, just like Jennifer's Body was. Jennifer's Body wasn't like a hit either. It's a cult classic, and I think this movie deserves to be a cult classic. It's very well acted for the budget that it has, which I'm assuming is not a huge budget.
I don't think
not
so.
a huge budget. It's very well made for the budget it has. It looks good. It looks like a movie that will come out in the movie theater. It looks great, and it's acted great. Barbara Crampton is great in this. Everybody's really good in this. The principal cast is really good in this. They're funny, and like they really fill out this town, and they make this town feel real. You know what I mean, right? Like remember how you were saying about the locals and stuff? They make this town feel real. They make it feel like anywhere USA, really.
Yeah, it's really good, man. I really enjoy it. This is definitely, if I could get it, for a good price, I would. I'd cop it. I'd cop it on Blu-ray or DVD or something like that. You know what I mean? I definitely enjoyed it. Out of 10, I don't know what. I don't know.
No, I mean, I'm not gonna. You know, it's a. You know what? I know we praise this movie a lot, and I think you're gonna. I think you maybe might agree with this. I know we praise this movie a lot, but this isn't like what you would call a good movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, I enjoyed it.
I liked it a lot. I enjoyed it a lot, but
I think it's good.
It's not a movie that you would be like, "Oh, fuck yeah!" You know what I mean? Like, it's a low budget movie.
Yeah, if you like vampire lore, you'll
love this.
If you like vampire movies, you're gonna enjoy this. You can throw this on with any of the other vampire movies, and you'll be like, okay, I fuck with this.
I fuck with it heavy, and I love Barbara Crampton. If you're watching this, I follow you on Twitter. Follow me back. I love you. You're the best. Yeah, I heart you, Barbara Crampton.
Oh man, that's
even dope. Even though I called your movie bad a little bit, I didn't mean it.
Yeah,
I didn't mean it that way.
I love the movie, by the way.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it, but like in terms of like.
Yeah, rating scale. Out of 10.
I'm not gonna give it like a 10 out of 10 or anything.
Nah, I would have to probably be like a 6.
Yeah,
like a 6.5, something like that.
6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I agree with that.
Something like that, man. It's not a bad movie. It's a good movie. It's interesting premise. You know what I'm saying? It's good to see like older vampire lore brought into this. And you know what I mean? They did their own little take on it, which was cool.
It's cool to see a movie just about like a movie led by and starred by like a middle-aged woman that is actually a fucking good movie, and it doesn't like dwell on the fact that like, oh look, she's old. It's just like, no, like she's a person dealing with like life, and it's kind of fucking interesting. That in itself, that's what indie movies are able to do that these big budget movies will probably never be able to do. They're always able to very well and very like execute the way normal life is very well. You know what I mean? Like this movie does that so fucking well. Like how we were saying, like this town looks great. Like this, like the atmosphere in this movie is fucking amazing. It feels like if I'm watching like a old Halloween special, or like this movie is good in the sense where this movie is good to me in the sense of like how the old Dracula movies are good. Like, you know what I mean? They're like not like gonna win an Oscar, but you're just like, that's fucking cool, man. I like that.
And you know what too? Like, you know, usually if you like the Hollywood ones, like once she would have became a vampire, like they would have made her like go OD with it. You know what I mean? She would have probably wear like a leather jacket, like bought a motorcycle.
And they would have got somebody way younger.
Yeah, they would have been. Yeah, they would have tried to make it like a whole different type of
Yeah, this movie,
and I feel like this is like it kept it in its lane to where like, okay, yeah, she's a vampire now, but now she's not gonna be like whoring it out, you know, like fucking,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Looking to bite guys, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and I like that I like that they showed that depending on what type of blood she drinks, she does get stronger. Remember, she drank that like real good like blood from the meat market, and she was like, oh fuck, she was like picking up stuff with one arm and stuff. Like for a 50-year-old woman, that's strong. That's strong.
Yeah, she was throwing around the couches and the fucking love seats and shit,
Yeah.
redecorating. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, in summary, Ghouls and Gals, Jacob's wife is. I'm gonna say this is a worth it watch. Go ahead and watch it. Go ahead and pay for it. It's probably like $2 on fucking Amazon, or it's like $2, $3 on YouTube. Go ahead and give this movie a fucking bone. It really deserves it. Barbara Crampton, if you're out there, I love you, baby. You did amazing on this movie. Amazing on this movie.
You're really dope, man.
Yeah,
really
but
good.
yeah, this movie's amazing. I really dug it for it being a low budget movie. Like I was saying, I dug it for its low budgetness. I dug it for its charm. Very charming movie. I'm gonna get, like I said, I'm gonna give it a 6.5 out of 10. Right? Is that what we said? 6.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm good with that, man.
Yeah.
Her husband did it. Her husband did a good job too in acting too.
Yeah, that we didn't talk about him a whole lot, but he did a good job. He did a good job of being like the straight man. Like, you know what I mean? Being like the guy that's not the crazy one. Like, and I dug that.
He didn't really know like what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like he was kind of.
Yeah, and I like that one line he says. He's like, "I think in the circumstances, I'm acting very like appropriately," and I was like, "You kind of are." I was like, "Yeah, you kind of are."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was like,
he
"I don't know how the fuck I
would." Fall the fuck back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's like, "What you say?" He was like, "All right."
He's like, "Chill the fuck out, dog." He's like, "I'm barely dealing with this right now." He's like, "Yesterday, the craziest thing to me was that we went to go eat at a restaurant that we normally don't eat at. That was like the craziest thing to me. So chill the fuck out. I gotta eat into this shit."
Mm-hmm.
But there you have it, Ghouls and Gals. That's another episode of the Ryan T Show Podcast. And I hope you enjoyed also another episode of Saturday Night Horror Theater. I'm Ryan T, and this is
Sid Retro, man. Retro Culture 727.
All right, Ghouls and Gals. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one.